I've been practicing magic for about 12 years now and a professional magician since 2019. In the past 6 years, I've noticed a lot of things change, from the way my colleagues do things to the way that I personally book my shows. While the basic premise of being a magician hasn't changed all that much, a client reaches out to me, I talk to them, we figure out a date that works for us, I go perform my show and get paid, the channels of my revenue have changed over the years. I did a video like this last year and already things have changed a lot, considering that social media is now a bigger part of my yearly revenue. This comment even predicted that 11 months ago, and I kind of didn't believe it, but it's true. So let's break down the entire revenue from my business in 2024. We'll take a broad look, just a general overview, because that big number is fun and I know that's what you're interested in. But let's also take a smaller, more focused in view, because I do have multiple sources of revenue and it'll be fun to explain all of those to you. I made a chart, and that's gonna help us keep track of things as I write it down. I thought that was cool. I got a whiteboard, might as well use it. We'll start with foam because that's the easiest one to explain. Last year in 2024, foam parties made me $32,810. I know you clicked on the video because it says how much money did I make as a magician in 2024, but that is how much money I made as a magician in 2024. That is a supplementary income. My foam parties exist as a business that I built in 2020 when we couldn't do magic shows because schools wouldn't hire me, theaters were closed, everything was shut down. Foam parties were clean and safe and outside. This whole thing is pre-expenses. This is just revenue. So if you see that big number, that is not what goes to my bank account. That is the big revenue number before expenses. And if you're wondering what a foam party is, it's exactly what it sounds like. If you've ever gone to vacation in Mexico, they're very popular down there. I do them for preschools and daycares and summer camps. I don't want to deal with rowdy, drunk adults. I wrote the magic one in blue. Now is what you are here to see, is why you clicked on the video. How much money did I as a magician make from purely magic, whether that's magic shows, magic classes, summer camps, consulting, anything magic related is in this number, and that number is $67,613.06. I don't know where that 6 cents came from, but Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. No, in all reality, I can probably tell you where that weird decimal point did come from. I tour my family magic show across the states, and people have to buy tickets to come to that show, and they buy tickets through the internet. It goes through a payment processor. That payment processor takes some fees, and sometimes it ends up with weird decimal points, and after the fees come out, it goes to my bank account. So that's what happens there. That's a pretty good circle. I'm on this side now and I made a pie chart, and you need to be able to see that pie chart. So I feel like a teacher, I need like a yardstick. I'll use this marker, I guess. Magic came in around $57,000, but what does magic mean? Well, I've written these 4 categories here. We've got private shows, classes and camps, theater, and consulting. So I've got private shows and I've got theater shows. Those both sort of encompass performance and performing. So you can see that performing made me about half my money. I get to do my show, I get booked for something, or I book myself and rent out a theater, and I go and I perform for people. Then you've got theater shows. A theater might invite me out. I might rent a theater and then I have to sell enough tickets to get that profit back. They might do a ticket split with me. The most common is about a 65-35, where I keep 65% of all tickets sold and the theater keeps 35%. Both private shows and theater shows got me about 50%. This graph is drawn by eye and by hand. Classes and camps and consulting make up the other 50% of my business. I'm kind of putting these together because they both involve me imparting knowledge on other people that only a magician can give. We'll talk about consulting first because it's a little bit easier to explain, as it's only about a 1/6 of my revenue. I did consulting for 2 theater shows. One was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child Jr., so I was brought in to teach kids magic tricks and spice up the script with a little bit of magic. I was also brought on to consult for a private summer camp. They did not want me to run their summer camp. They've got a couple of locations. They just wanted me to design the magic tricks so that their locations could do magic activities. All in all, consulting this year brought me in about $10,000, which brings me to classes and camps. Every school year, I run a couple of after-school magic programs, and every summer, I do a couple of magic summer camps. This year, I'm doing 2 weeks of magic summer camp. Last year, I only got to do 1, just because of the way my schedule worked out. The classes are after-school magic classes. Sometimes it's a one-off at a library. I've done a couple of those, but mainly it is after-school magic classes where they will bring me in for a 4-week period, maybe a semester-long period. One of them I do is a 10-week long period, and the kids sign up. The kids sign up through the school. This is not a program that I run. It's a program that I designed, and the school brings me in to do the program, but all the kids pay the money through the school. The money goes, some of it goes to the school for hosting it, and then the rest goes to me, and that's about how the magic classes work. If you're wondering how that breaks down even further between the classes and the summer camps, my revenue was $24,000. The organization got about $7,000. My profit for the classes and summer camps, not expenses, just the organization cut for using their buildings and stuff. My profit after that organization cut was $16,556 between 46 days of going into the classroom for 86 students. So 46 days of work for about $16,000. Not bad. And I get to teach kids magic, so that's pretty fun too. So that kind of covers the performing business, the teaching aspect of it all, the foam parties. With magic and foam together, that comes out to $90,423.06. I don't have a spot to write that down, but let's go over number of events. In 2024, I was able to do 144 events. Now, yes, events are classified as anytime I leave the house to go do something. So whether it's consulting for one of those theater shows, whether it's going to do a summer camp class, I count each class as an event. So if we add these two numbers together and then divide by the number of events, we'll get the money per event, which comes out to $627.94. Now, all of these events do vary. Sometimes I'll do an event for $150 because it's something that I want to do and it's helping kids. Sometimes an event is $3,000 because I rented out a theater and I had to make all that money back, and I'm selling tickets for $30 each, and I sell 100 tickets and we make $3,000. Every event is a little bit different. Sometimes these are 12-hour days, but even if you divide $624 by 12, you get about $52 an hour. Sometimes they're 3-hour days, which I feel very fortunate to be able to get that highly hourly pay. Now, I do want to point out, someone last year said, OMG, you're better off working at a regular job, but at least you do what you love. Thanks for sharing. And yeah, sometimes it does feel like I would be better off working at a regular job because I'm regularly putting in 60 to 80-hour weeks. But, you know, this is not a bad salary, $90,000. And again, this is revenue before expenses. We're not going to go into expenses fully in this video. This video is already getting a little bit long, but I will say it's about $35,000. So at the end, after we talk about content, you can take this whole thing, subtract $35,000, and you will get your answer to how much money I profited last year. But I want to stress so much that I am not complaining about this job and this career. I love what I do. I get to teach kids. I get to inspire people. I perform for families. I try not to perform for just giant corporations where it's soulless and they say, today's magic words are saved 20% with Geico. Not sponsored. It would be in that case, but it's not today. I want to perform my theater show for family audiences where both the kids and the adults can just have a great time. Now, before I show you, I know that you all clicked on the video because you're like, how much does a magician make? Not how much does a foam party person make, or how much does a YouTuber make, or anything. You can find those videos wherever you want. I just wanted to be fully transparent and include all the numbers. I made $9,338.38. Is that right? $38.38? Wow, 33838. That's kind of cool. Now, this number is kind of cool because I didn't get monetized on TikTok until May, and I didn't get monetized on YouTube until July. So this is only about half a year of earnings. And of those numbers, YouTube was about 2,300 and TikTok was about 6,000. That's how that breaks down. But this year it's sort of flipped. TikTok is not paying as much and YouTube's paying a little more, but we'll talk about that in the next video next year. So what is the total number right here? I'm sure you've all added it up before me, but I've got it on a spreadsheet right here. $99,761.44. That is the total amount of money that I made in all of last year. I was $238.56 off from making six figures. That is wild. Now, before you click off the video, and I know it looks like I'm going to try to sell you a dropshipping class or sign you up for a course, I am not. But my stepdad has about 75,000 subscribers, and I'm trying to beat him. Do you know how embarrassing it is to be a YouTuber? Full stop. But do you know how embarrassing it is to be a YouTuber and your stepdad has more subscribers than you? Also, I want to get a plaque I can put on my wall behind me. One of those silver little fun 100,000 subscriber plaques. That's the little goal, you know? Anyways, bye.